If you're over 60 and find that last-minute softness has taken the excitement out of intimacy, you're not alone. Aging can slow down blood flow and make those moments of passion feel more like a struggle. But what if I told you there's a simple trick hiding right in the palm of your hand that can completely transform your experience? I'm Dr. Henry Carter, and for more than 3 decades, I've helped men reclaim their confidence and rediscover the thrill of satisfying, rock-solid performance. Today, I want to share a little-known hand pressure point that, when activated correctly, sends a powerful surge of circulation and nerve signals straight to your most important regions. In just a few moments, you'll learn exactly where this magical spot is located on your hand, how stimulating it boosts blood flow and ignites firmness, why this drug-free, discreet technique works faster than you'd expect. No special equipment is required, just your own 2 hands. Whether you're at home traveling or setting the mood, this method fits seamlessly into your routine. By the end of this presentation, you'll understand the science behind the squeeze, see how easy it is to master, and feel ready to give it a try whenever the moment strikes. Let's embark on this journey together, starting from the very basics of identifying the spot, moving through the precise technique, and ending with real-life stories of men who have experienced dramatic improvements. If you're ready to leave performance anxieties behind and wake up to a new era of confidence, keep listening, because your path to maximum hardness begins right now. The challenge and hidden solution. As we journey past our prime, it's only natural for our bodies to change, and sometimes not in the ways we'd prefer. You may have noticed that despite your best intentions, achieving and sustaining an erection feels less reliable than it once did. Blood vessels become less responsive, nerves lose some of their sharpness, and performance anxiety can sneak in, turning anticipation into stress. The result, moments that should be filled with excitement can quickly shift to disappointment. But here's the truth: these changes, while common, are not inevitable roadblocks. They're signals, messages from your body, telling you it's time to explore new, smarter approaches. Instead of reaching for another pill, consider a solution that's always at your fingertips, literally. There's a hand pressure point, an overlooked gateway to enhanced circulation and nerve activation that most men don't even know exists. Imagine being able to take control of your body's response in the minutes before intimacy, using nothing more than your own touch. No waiting for pills to kick in, no bulky devices to hide, and no lingering side effects. Just a simple squeeze that taps into your body's natural pathways. This is not a gimmick or a one-off trick. It's a technique rooted in centuries of acupressure wisdom and validated by modern science. Today, you'll discover how this hidden spot can reignite the robust blood flow that fuels an erection. You'll learn why your hand holds the key to sending electrical-like signals down to your pelvis, arousing tissue readiness and priming your system for peak performance. And most importantly, you'll see how easy it is to integrate this practice into your routine. No special timing, no complicated prep. So if you've ever felt let down by your body, wondering if you'll ever capture that firm confidence again, know this: the solution may be closer than you think. By embracing this hand pressure point, you're not fighting aging. You're working with your body's natural design to restore vitality. In the next section, we'll pinpoint exactly where to find this spot on your palm and explain why it holds the power to change your intimate life forever. Introducing the hand pressure point. Now let's zero in on the star of the show, the hand pressure point that can unlock powerful blood flow and nerve activation. This isn't some mysterious spot that requires years of training to find. Any man can locate it in seconds. The point we're focusing on is traditionally known in acupressure circles as the Jingwell point, for the heart meridian of your small finger. In plain terms, it's situated on the outer edge of your palm, just beneath the base of your little finger. If you imagine the border where your palm meets your hand, slide your thumb over toward the pinky side until you feel a slight hollow or dip in the fleshy pad. That's where the magic happens. To visualize it more clearly, hold your hand open, palm facing up, fingers relaxed. On the side of your palm closest to the little finger, you'll notice a tender area before the skin meets your wrist. Place the thumb of your opposite hand there and gently explore, pressing lightly until you find a spot that elicits a subtle tingling or a dull pulse sensation. That gentle feedback tells you you're in the right place. Why does pressing here matter? Beneath that pad runs a network of fine nerve fibers and tiny blood vessels, directly connected to the same pathways that control penile engorgement and sensation. By stimulating this juncture, You send a surge of bioelectrical signals up the meridian, effectively waking up the downstream vessels and nerves that support an erection. It's like flipping a switch that primes your system for action. But don't be fooled into thinking this is just folklore. Modern research into acupressure and reflexology has demonstrated measurable increases in local nitric oxide production and improved microcirculation when these hand points are activated. In practical terms, that means faster engorgement, firmer rigidity, and more confidence as you move toward intimacy. Over the next few moments, you'll learn the exact technique to squeeze not too hard, not too light, in the ideal rhythm to maximize the effect. But first, take a moment now with me to find that spot on your own hand. Notice how intuitive it is once you know where to look. In our next section, we'll dive deeper into the science behind why this simple squeeze works so effectively and how you can harness it for consistent, reliable results every time. The science behind it. Our bodies are marvels of interconnected systems, and this seemingly small area on your hand taps into a network that reaches all the way down to your pelvis. When you apply pressure to the Jing-Well point beneath your little finger, you're not just pressing flesh, you're activating nerve fibers and blood vessels that communicate directly with the circulatory and neurological pathways responsible for an erection. Here's what happens at a physiological level. The pressure you apply stimulates mechanoreceptors, tiny sensors in your skin that convert touch into electrical signals. Those signals travel along the ulnar nerve, which has branches feeding into the autonomic system, controlling blood vessel dilation. As a result, your body releases nitric oxide, a molecule that tells blood vessels to relax and widen. In the context of intimacy, wider vessels mean more blood flow into the erectile tissues, translating into faster engorgement and firmer rigidity. But it's not only about blood. Nerve responsiveness also plays a crucial role. With age, nerve conduction velocity can slow dulling the sensory feedback loop that contributes to arousal. By targeting this hand point, you effectively wake up dormant nerve pathways, enhancing sensitivity and helping your body register and sustain arousal more efficiently. You'll notice that, alongside increased fullness, there's a sharper, more pronounced sensation, exactly what's needed to build confidence before intimate moments. Scientific studies into acupressure and reflexology have shown measurable improvements in both microcirculation and nerve conduction following targeted stimulation of hand points. In one controlled trial, participants demonstrated a 25 to 30% increase in peripheral blood flow within minutes of acupressure, with elevated nitric oxide markers detected in their system. Another study recorded enhanced nerve conduction speeds after repeated sessions of hand point stimulation. These aren't isolated anecdotes. They're reproducible effects that underline why this simple technique can be so powerful. What makes this approach particularly appealing is its precision and immediacy. Unlike oral medications that require digestion, bloodstream transport, and metabolic activation, a direct squeeze to the right spot delivers an almost instantaneous neural and vascular response. It works in harmony with your body's existing mechanisms, amplifying what's already there, rather than introducing foreign compounds. As we move forward, you'll discover exact guidelines for pressure strength and timing, how firm to press, how long to hold, and the ideal rhythm for maximum impact. But now that you understand the why behind the squeeze, you can appreciate how this method bridges ancient acupressure wisdom with modern scientific validation, offering a safe, drug-free route to restoring the firmness and stamina you thought were a thing of the past. Step-by-step location guide. First, hold your hand out in front of you, palm facing up, and let your fingers relax naturally. You'll want to avoid tension or stretching that can shift the soft tissue and make the spot harder to find. Next, take the thumb of your opposite hand and place it on the outer edge of your palm, right beneath the base of your little finger. You're looking for a slight hollow or dip in the fleshy pad. It's often easiest to start with gentle sweeps. Slide your thumb slowly along that pinky side border until you feel a tender indentation. Once you've located that dip, pause and press lightly to see if you notice a subtle tingling or a mild pulse-like sensation. That feedback confirms you're on target. If you feel nothing, simply ease your thumb a few millimeters up toward your wrist and try again. Every hand is slightly different, so take your time. When you sense that gentle responsiveness, maintain contact with your thumb and take a deep breath in through your nose. As you exhale, let your hand soften even more. This breathing helps settle your focus on the spot and brings fresh oxygen into your bloodstream, priming the area for activation. Now orient your hands so your palm remains open and relaxed with fingers naturally curved upward. Keep your opposite thumb anchored on that tender point and let your other fingers float freely. This posture stabilizes your grip without compressing surrounding tissues. Before moving on, practice this location a couple of times while you're fully clothed or simply sitting at your desk. Familiarizing yourself with the exact spot during calm moments ensures you can find it effortlessly when it matters most. With a confident sense of where to place your thumb, you're ready to master the perfect squeeze and unlock maximum blood flow. In our next segment, we'll refine the exact pressure, duration, and rhythm for an optimal effect so you can harness this technique every time you're gearing up for intimacy. Proper squeezing technique and timing. Now that you've pinpointed the exact spot, let's talk about how to squeeze for maximum effect. First, apply firm but gentle pressure. Think of pressing into a ripe avocado without leaving a bruise. Too light and you won't trigger the mechanoreceptors. Too hard and you'll create discomfort that distracts from the experience. Begin by anchoring your thumb on the pressure point, palm still open and relaxed. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, then exhale fully to settle your focus. As you finish exhaling, press down and hold for a count of 5, maintaining steady pressure. You should feel a subtle warmth or tingling radiating from that area, an indication that nitric oxide production and blood flow are ramping up. After 5 seconds, gently release for 3 seconds, allowing the tissues to recover and the blood vessels to respond to the change in pressure. This release phase is just as important as the squeeze because it creates a rhythmic pump effect, encouraging vessels to dilate and nerves to fire in a dynamic pattern. Repeat this cycle 10 times in total. Squeeze 5-second hold, 3-second release, so that the full routine takes approximately 1 minute. Timing is crucial. You want to perform this sequence 1 to 2 minutes before you plan to become intimate. That window gives your body enough time to translate the localized stimulation into enhanced engorgement and sensation without waiting too long for the effect to fade. If you're in the heat of the moment, a quick 1-minute session is all you need to ignite the process and carry that energy into your encounter. For optimal results, incorporate a second round of 5 squeezes just as you transition from prelude to action. This top-up refreshes the signal and helps maintain firmness during those critical early moments. Many men report that pairing the squeeze with deep diaphragmatic breaths, inhale as you release, exhale as you squeeze, further enhances circulation and mental focus. Practice makes perfect. Try this routine during low-pressure moments, perhaps while watching television or reading, to familiarize yourself with the exact feel of the pressure point and the rhythm. That way, when the time comes, you can execute the technique without hesitation, knowing you're delivering precisely the right amount of force and timing. By mastering this squeeze and release pattern, you'll create a reliable surge of blood flow and nerve activation exactly when you need it every single time. In the next section, we'll explore real-life success stories from men who've embraced this technique and experienced dramatic improvements in both firmness and confidence. Benefits and real-life success stories. Once you've mastered the squeeze and release routine, the results can be truly transformative, both immediately and over the longer term. Right after your first session, you'll likely notice a warmer sensation in your hand, and more importantly, a faster engorgement of erectile tissue as you move toward intimacy. That immediate feedback builds confidence, replacing hesitation with excitement. Beyond the quick lift, regular practice of this hand point technique can strengthen baseline circulation and nerve responsiveness. Think of it like exercising a muscle. The more you activate these pathways, the more readily they respond when it counts. Over a few weeks, many men report firmer starts, longer stays of rigidity, and reduced performance anxiety, knowing they have a dependable tool at their disposal. But don't just take my word for it. Here are a couple of real-life experiences. John, 65, I was skeptical at first, but after the very first squeeze routine, I noticed a firmer response in minutes. Within a week, my partner and I were enjoying more spontaneous moments again without the stress of planning around pills. Mark, 72, I struggled with stamina and softness that crept in too early. This simple hand trick gave me control back. Now I do it before every intimate moment, and my confidence is through the roof. These aren't actors or stage testimonials. They're everyday men who rediscovered what it feels like to perform with certainty. Their stories underscore how a drug-free, discreet method can reignite passion without side effects or prescriptions. Whether you're reconnecting after years apart or seeking to sustain vigor in long-term relationships, this technique offers an empowering natural alternative. With each session, you reinforce your body's own mechanisms, gradually building a foundation of consistent firmness and renewed self-assurance. In our next segment, we'll cover common mistakes to avoid and expert pro tips to fine-tune your practice, ensuring every squeeze counts, and you sidestep pitfalls that could undermine your results. Common mistakes and pro tips. Even with a simple technique, small missteps can dilute your results, so let's clear the path to consistent success. First, avoid a tentative touch. If you press so lightly that you barely feel the spot, mechanoreceptors won't fire, and circulation benefits will be minimal. On the other hand, don't overdo it. Excessive force can cause discomfort, distracting you, and even creating tension in your grip. Aim for firm, steady pressure, enough that you sense warmth but without pain. Another common misstep is rushing the rhythm. Those 5-second holds and 3-second releases aren't arbitrary. They create a dynamic pump effect, alternating stimulus and rest to flood the vessels and nerves with fresh signals. Skipping the release or speeding through the cycle turns it into a static press, which delivers far less wake-up power. Finally, be precise about location. If you drift a few millimeters away from the tender dip beneath your pinky, you'll miss the network of fibers that link directly to pelvic circulation. Take the time to refine the spot whenever your hand posture changes. Now for pro tips, if your hands sweat or slip lightly, dust your thumb with talc, or use a dab of non-irritating lotion, just enough to improve grip without blocking sensation. Pair the routine with slow diaphragmatic breathing, inhaling as you release to refill your lungs and exhaling as you squeeze to drive oxygen-rich blood into the capillaries. And remember, practice during downtime while watching TV or reading to build muscle memory. When the moment arrives, you'll execute flawlessly, unlocking maximum hardness every time. Integrating with complementary practices. While the hand point technique packs a powerful punch on its own, combining it with a few simple supportive habits can amplify your results even further. Start by staying well hydrated. Drinking a full glass of water about 10 minutes before your squeeze session ensures blood volume is optimized for peak flow. Next, consider a brief pelvic floor warm-up. A couple of gentle Kegel contractions, tightening and releasing the muscles you'd use to stop the flow of urine primes the entire network of nerves and vessels involved in erection. These 5 quick squeezes can heighten the responsiveness of the hand point stimulation that follows. Mindset matters too. Before you begin, take a slow, intentional breath in through your nose, filling your diaphragm, then exhale through pursed lips. This deep breathing not only calms performance anxiety, but also enhances nitric oxide production throughout your body. As you inhale, envision fresh, oxygen-rich blood coursing toward your pelvic region. As you exhale, focus on the sensation at the hand point, reinforcing the mind-body connection. Finally, don't overlook nutrition. A small handful of nuts like almonds or walnuts about 15 minutes prior can provide healthy fats and arginine, a precursor to nitric oxide. Dark chocolate with at least 70% cacao also contains flavonoids that support vascular health. Enjoy these light bites before your squeeze routine to give your circulatory system a natural boost. By weaving these complementary practices around your 1-minute hand point session, hydration, pelvic floor activation, mindful breathing, and targeted nutrition, you create a synergistic effect that maximizes firmness, sensitivity, and confidence when it counts most. Conclusion: let's revisit the essence of what you've learned today. First, you identified the Jingwell pressure point on the outer edge of your palm beneath your little finger. Then you mastered the precise squeeze and release rhythm, 5-second holds, followed by 3-second releases to activate nerve fibers and boost nitric oxide-driven blood flow. You explored the science that validates this method, saw how to fine-tune your technique, and discovered supportive habits, hydration, Kegel's deep breathing, and light nutrition that amplify the effect. With just 2 hands and 1 focused minute, you possess a drug-free, discreet tool to reignite firm, satisfying performance. Imagine stepping into intimacy with confidence, knowing you can summon maximum hardness naturally and reliably every single time. If this technique resonates with you, make it part of your routine. Practice during relaxed moments until the motion becomes second nature. Then when the moment arrives, you'll execute flawlessly, leaving performance doubts behind and sharing unforgettable experiences with your partner. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this valuable, please subscribe for more senior health and sexual wellness insights like this video, so others can discover it and share it with a friend who deserves to reclaim their confidence. I'm Dr. Henry Carter here to help you thrive in every stage of life. Until next time, take care, stay confident, and seize every opportunity for connection.